If you don't know me, my name is Nikolai, and in the past 2.5 years, I've gone from 0 to plus 15 million euros. Actually, I think it's 16 or 17 now. Over here you can see one of my brands. It has done 55 million Danish kroner, which is around 8 million euros. Now, I've got multiple other brands like these, but in this video, I want to show you how I would do it if I were to start all over again. I'm going to do it with a total budget of 100 euros to show that each and every single one of you guys watching this video for free on YouTube can do this. My personal goal is to create as many young e-commerce millionaires as humanly possible. I want to set the world record for that using my framework. I've built that over the past 2.5-3 years and it is bulletproof. We've got people in our mentorship program succeeding over and over and over again. And now, why would I make such a video like this proving to you the system when I've also got a mentorship program where I even charge for this? And the honest truth is, I want to help as many people as possible. In the mentorship program, things are a bit more structured. You get to work with me on a one-on-one basis, and we host weekly Q&A calls to help you further along. But this will hopefully, for many of you guys, be able to set you on the right path. So I think let's get straight into it. Alright, so if you want to have any chance succeeding in ecom, you need to nail these 3 pillars. The first one is the product. We need to find one with a new angle, and I've done this many times. This is not an issue, but let me show you how I do it. Then we need to create an incredible site that converts, and finally we need to create astonishing ads. Alright, so the first step, as said, is to find the product. And now this is actually the step where a lot of people get it wrong, and getting the product wrong really makes your journey here tricky. So we need to find the best possible product. And what I always like to do here is to go on to the internet and just use a method I like to call open your eyes. And I've called it that because it is literally that simple. I have found all of my best performing products by just looking and being aware of what's happening around the world in the e-commerce space. Who's succeeding, who's doing well, who's not, and what can we take as inspiration from that. So let me now show you how you can find that inspiration. And what I also want to say here is that this is not a simple process. This is a process where you need to find inspiration. And often it can be tricky to just sit down and find the inspiration. Often you need to actively choose to go and think about it. Be aware of what's happening around you. Do you see a premium product that performs well for a large brand? Would you like to have it? But would it be interesting with a lower price point option? Perhaps there is a product in another market, in the US, in Europe, and that product isn't available in your country. So that's all the different kind of stuff we need to keep in the back of our mind here as we go through this process. Alright, so to gain some inspiration, I love using Alibaba, and before you attack me here, I have just found all of my winning products with their suppliers on Alibaba. So yeah, if you want to sit around and cry watching this video saying that this guy just sells crappy products, feel free to check out all of the trust piles from my brands. We only build great brands here with happy customers. And that is possible using China suppliers. Just look at your favorite brands. Your iPhone is from China. Your Nike shoes are from China. So your most favorite brands are from China. So why should you, for some reason, be any better than these major brands? With that out of the way, my entire goal for this challenge, which I will achieve, I'm just so confident in our framework, is to build a store, a brand, and find a product that can do at least 100,000 euros a year. Now that's 8,333 euros a month and just around 270 euros a day. I love breaking goals down like that. When you've got a larger goal, you need to visualize what should we do on a monthly and daily basis to achieve it. So we need to keep that goal in mind, because depending on the numbers you want to achieve, you should be looking for different products. Now, I might hit above that goal, but at least I want to do above 270 euros a day, consistent, to prove to you guys that we've created a brand that can do 100,000 euros a year. All right, so let's get into the details here. I have opened my computer, placed myself on the couch here because this can take a while, and that's not an issue. If you want to be financially independent and create great businesses, you just need to be aware that this, of course, finding the best product, it takes a while, and this isn't something we should stress about, because finding the correct product here will help us so much, so much down the road. So let's start now finding a solid product and then building everything around that. All right, so I've logged onto Facebook, so let's see what they've got here. Let's see what this is. Sick. Then I think this product is very interesting. So it seems to be like just an aluminium suitcase. If you know anything about the luxury need, almost the Louis Vuitton of suitcases is called Rimowa. Now, a Rimowa suitcase easily costs at least 1,000 euros and upwards. I've wanted one for a long time, and I actually think that this suitcase as well, it looks sick. So I'm very curious to see more about these guys. Wow, nice price point, and I really like their branding as well. I think they've done a sick job, honestly. I think we might be onto something here. Let me tell you why. So first and foremost, this is a product I would love to have. I've been searching for a good looking suitcase for a long time. I've been traveling so much last year. I went on 12 different trips, and I think just 9 out of 10 suitcases, they look shit. And so I would love to have one that's clean, nice, like a remover. I just haven't gifted myself a remover yet because, yeah, well, I think I haven't deserved it yet, even though I, of course, could afford it. But I think this suitcase is really interesting. What if you could provide a good-looking, sleek, minimalistic, premium-looking suitcase for a lower price point? I think that will work. And so just to learn some more about these, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look through their entire site. And what I'm noticing, first and foremost, is that they've got great content. And now this tells me that they are not a new brand. They've invested into content for a long time. Otherwise, you won't have content like that. And that's something I love to see because it tells me that they are established. So let's go on here. And elegance. Also, look at this content. This is high level content. This is not something a cheap brand would be able to do. So this tells me these guys, they have success. So let me do some more research and get back to you. I've just looked at some more of their products, and honestly, I think we've got a winner here, guys. I think this is sick, absolutely sick. They've got it in multiple colors. Their content is high level. And what's even more cool about this suitcase is the fact that I haven't seen them that established in Denmark. So I think if we take their framework, apply it to Denmark, their product, their kind of approach to the market, we could do some crazy numbers here, honestly. So yeah, let's do it. Before going in now and creating my name, my logo, my branding, the site in itself, I want to emphasize here that because this video is for YouTube, I want to save some of the more technical parts for my mentorship program, Scaling with Ecom. So just know if you really like this video, I have recorded all behind the scenes, a complete A to Z walkthrough of how I do this. You can find it in my mentorship program, Scaling with Ecom. But for now, I keep some of the more technical parts for my members. With that said, as mentioned, you should still be able to make something work by following this video. Alright, so first and foremost, in the description of this video, I've got a Shopify link for you guys, which will give you access to Shopify for only $1 a month as a free trial. This is an extended offer that I've made with them. It is actually typically for my SWE students, but now, luckily, you can also get it. So going to here into your email, I'll write my personal one, click Start Free Trial. You can just click Skip All down here, and pick the country you want to advertise in. I want to sell this to Denmark, and so it will just take a couple of minutes to build our store. In the meanwhile, what we want to do is find a name here. And so there is no better way when you're finding your name to look at your competitors. So now I finally created our logo. I think it looks sick. I went with a minimalistic feel, kind of like what Remova and what NVST Select has. A very simple minimalistic suitcase, suit and bold, case and slim. I like this. So let's now get it onto the site, and it is time to do my favorite part of building an ecom brand, which is making the store. I'm so excited. So let's go. All right, so here we are within Shopify. Click on online store, and now it's time to create our store. The first thing we need to do here is pick our theme, and the theme for Shopify is basically just a kind of template you want to build your store around. For those of you who are in Scaling with Ecom, you've got an optimized theme to use. For those who aren't, well, you can pick one of the free ones in here. They've got a bunch of them down here, you can see. You can also initially buy one if you are very serious. I wouldn't recommend that though. So I just use the free SWE theme, which you get if you're part of that membership. If you aren't, you can use Dawn. It's fine to test your product, and you will be able to make a product succeed with Dawn initially to keep your budget down. So I'm just going into SWE now. So let me click download. Boom, got it. So let's add the theme, upload zip file, add file. Done, done, done. So it is ready. Let's already now publish this one because yeah, we will be using this one instead of Dawn. Let me now go in and customize this, and keep in mind once again, this is me creating a 10 out of 10 brand. This is me going in and tailoring with all of the different elements, making everything so optimized as much as humanly possible. And that's because I want the highest chance of success. Please just keep in mind, if you're a beginner, This might be difficult for you, depending on how skilled you are also in coding. Most of this can be done and can be learned by yourself, but yeah, follow along. With that said, it is necessary initially to use a store like this, but yeah, let's do it. We obviously need some content now. So this is the large next step. We need to find some content for our brand. So how do we do that? Well, I like to take the pictures from our supplier on Alibaba. Anyway, what we're doing here is we're just finding some temporary content, which we can use for testing the product in like 5 to 7 days at max. So this is very temporary. Right, so I found a bunch of content online from my supplier, some from some competitors, most from my supplier actually. I reached out to a couple of them, telling them that I was an established suitcase company in Scandinavia and what content could they provide me. And so this is what I've gotten, a bunch of different content, as you can see here, and I really like it. So now it's time for us to go in and add this to our site, to make it finished. So it's Monday, a new week, and today I want to finish the product page and ads so we can get all of this live. Yeah, but let's continue. All of this, that's in English. I'll get that translated in the end. Let's add the price. Let me just write something now. So we've got it filled out on the side, but now let me try and look at what do these guys sell it for. So this is, can we change this to Danish kroner? So this is 3,000 kroner. I think that's too much for us. Let's go a bit more inexpensive. We just want some kind of results here, so no, I think this is fine for now, but I would definitely go in and raise the prices after we've seen that proof of concept. So the site is finally done. I spent some hours yesterday on a Sunday and this morning, this Monday, to finish up the store. Now let me show you what we've built. I think it has turned out sick. So suitcase.dk, you can see we added our fav icon up here, the logo, and this is of course in Danish, as I mentioned to you previously, because I'm going to launch this brand in Denmark. Nevertheless, this is what it looks like. It says lifetime guarantee, quality tested, our different products down here, about the features, and yeah, then that's actually it. So I can show you the product page. It looks sick in my opinion. So here you can see the different images, even a video of the different features of the suitcase. Something about the suitcase, the features, the different sizes. Some more images, some more about the features, what makes the suitcase stand out. This is crucial to have on your site in my opinion. Some more branded content and a FAQ down here, frequently answered questions. And then similar recommended products. I'm not sure why it doesn't load right now. Now it's time for us to create the ads. And the ads are the first impression of the product, so it is crucial to nail these. So I think without further ado, I'll go ahead and do that. As mentioned previously, the Scaling with Ecom members, they'll get to see me set up some of the more technical stuff. But for you guys here on YouTube, I'm trying to make it a bit more entertaining. So let's get going. But now let me show you the ads that we've created for the store. But before that, this honestly also just made me reflect on everything, because it is so crazy for me to now sit down here, do what I'm doing best, show you guys how to do it as well, while I'm living here. It feels like a dream sometimes, because it has all just happened because of this very thing, this laptop here and a Wi-Fi connection. So yeah, I just feel so privileged. I think it's so sick that Ecom can create this opportunity, and if there's any takeaway from this video, it should be that it should hopefully inspire you to achieve something similar. It of course depends on what you want to achieve, but at least a life with more freedom, that's more as you want. With that said, let me now show you the ads. So we've created 6 different ones in 5 different ad sets, and the ad sets are just very basic, 5 different interests that could kind of fit this interest of luggages and suitcases. First ad is just very basic. This video, I think it was very high quality. Second one, these 3 features of the product. I love making these ads where we show the 3 different features. It can perform so well, and over again, it has been one of my winning ads. So I strongly recommend you to use the same, because it's just a very great way of telling the honest and open benefits about your product. So I like that, once again, with a very minimalistic and simple text. Number 3, another one, but just with a white background. This has, on time and time again, been my #1 ad across everything that I've done. Next one. This is just a video of a guy rolling with the suitcase. and then an image of a person holding the suitcase. Once again, very simple text, because I obviously took a look at what my competitors were doing, and I noticed, and also kind of the brand that I want to give about this product is that it should be very simple, minimalistic, clean, and high-end essentially. So that's what I'm trying to do here, very basic. And then another one in the same style, the kind of POV shot here from above down on the suitcase, a very stylish image as well. This one with some more features. And as you can see, they have got kind of a different style. Now, of course, we wanted to have a healthy branding as to what we've done on our site, so we wouldn't want to put ugly images in here. But just please take the key takeaway here that I'm trying different ads, because let's be honest, we don't know what's going to work here. You want to test different ads to find out what's working for you. It's like shooting to a football. How can you know how to hit the ball when you haven't tried other ways of hitting the ball? You need to search out all of the different options here until we find the perfect way to hit the ball so it goes in the top of the corner. Yeah, I hope that the analogy made sense. So with that said, all we can do now, you can see here the ads are active. So all we can do now is basically just to wait and see what the results will be. But with that said, I really think the results here will be incredible. I've done this time and time again, and I know when I'm seeing a winner here, and I really feel like this is going to work. With that said, we never know. The data is going to tell us whether I'm right or wrong. Nevertheless, I also want definitely to emphasize here that you shouldn't, after this video, go out and try it with the same product. You definitely can, perhaps in another market, but just know that because I'm putting this on YouTube, it might end up being a bit saturated. But yeah, let's see how it all performs, and I'll get back to you in like 3 or 4 days when we've had some data, and then we can analyze on the results, see how much money hopefully we've made. See you. Alright, so it's been 3 days actually, and I'm back with some very exciting results. As you can see on my screen, we've generated a total of 7,400 kroner in revenue. So as you can see, there has been 3 orders in total. Joachim here, he bought 2 different suitcases, one the carry-on version and the medium in silver. Then Susanne, she bought the red one in a carry-on version, and Carsten here, very recently, 4 minutes ago, before I wanted to do an update for you, bought the silver one in medium. And it was because of the final order from Carsten. I thought, okay, well, now it's time to give you a proper update. I will most likely give you another update like tomorrow. But before we move on here, we've had a total of 1,000 euros in revenue, almost 1,000 euros on the point. So let's see what we spent on our ads. Let me just refresh here. Because as you can see, we've spent a total on 760 kroner on advertising. Generally, when I launch a new product, what I'm looking for is a ROAS above 3. Here we've got a 10. So this is incredible. These are the same results I had when I started my first profitable ecom brand. We had a ROAS of like 7 to 11 at the time, and this was a store that ended up generating around 10 million euros. Unfortunately, we aren't able to track the conversions in here. There are a lot of tracking issues right now with Meta. However, I can of course show you the ads that have been best performing just by sorting by amount spent here. So as you can see, it is this one, the one I spoke to you about, which I also thought would be a winner. Let's click preview, this one. So really interesting stuff here, guys, and I honestly love that you're now able to see a brand go from 0 to something. And the reason that I also wanted to do this update is because, yeah, well, as you could see yesterday, we actually hit our goal. Now, our initial goal was to create a brand that could generate plus 100,000 euros in revenue yearly. And that's equivalent to around 270 euros a day in revenue. We crossed that yesterday. Yesterday, we generated around 600 euros in revenue. And let's just say we're able to keep that level maintained. 600 times 365 days of the year. Then we've got a brand here without any further growth that is able to do 220,000 euros in revenue yearly. Now that's not too bad, especially because you like with a product like this. Right now, with the current metrics, you could expect to have a profit rate of 30%, and so that will leave you with around 66,000 euros a year. In Danish kroner, that's 500,000 Danish kroner. That's a healthy salary. Very often though, it is my experience that the performance will actually become better and better because the pixel and the tracking gets better and we increase our ad spend a bit. So yeah, let's see, but I think our revenue will grow slightly. Alright, so it has now been almost 4 total days since we started the test for Suitcase, and here's the total results. So for the period, the brand has done collectively 13,600 Danish kroner. You can see here. Yeah, boom. Alright. So these are our numbers, 13,600 kroner. That is just around 2,000 euros. And that's across 4 days. So as you can see, we spent a total of 1,000 Danish kroner. Now this is 150 euros. I know I promised you in the beginning I would only use 100 euros, but the matter of the fact is that the brand was already profitable after we had spent like 50 to 60 euros. And so that's why I saw that as our starting budget. I kept that rule. But of course, since we are making money on every single order here, I would be stupid to now not spend further on the ads because I can see it's working. We've generated almost 13,600 kroner in revenue, which is 13.6 times the ad spend. So with that said, let me now break down the exact profits for a store like this. Alright, so most importantly, how much did we make in profit here? Now, a lot of people when they're new to ecom, they think that all revenue generated, that's almost like profit. And that's far from the truth. With that said, here's the breakdown, and I've just gone in and translated these currencies from the Danish kroner to euros. As you can see, we almost did 2,000 euros in revenue for this period of 4 days. Of course, in Denmark we have to pay VAT. Some ecom people and dropshippers that live like in Dubai perhaps, they'll tell you that you can get around paying VAT, but the matter of the fact is that if you've got an established brand in Denmark or any European country, you are legally obligated to pay VAT once you cross a certain threshold. Actually in Denmark, the threshold is 40,000 Danish kroner. So if this was a new brand of mine run through me personally, I wouldn't have paid VAT here, technically. But with that said, I ran this through one of my Danish companies, and so we will need to pay VAT on it. So VAT in Denmark is 20%, so that's 364 euros. Now I also, of course, have some expenses here for shipping out the products. And then for the ads, we spent 1,011 Danish kroner, that's 135 euros. We also initially bought a domain. Now, honestly, I wouldn't add the domain to our typical list of expenses because it's a long-term play, buying a domain. But just for the sake of having everything in here, I added it. So the domain was about 70 kroner. Then we had some transaction fees. We, of course, had our $1 subscription cost to Shopify, etc., which came out at around 14 euros, which leaves us with a total of 7,173 Danish kroner in profit. And now that's 962 euros in profit for 4 days of running this brand actively. Now keep in mind here that I did spend a bunch of days as well researching, building the store, but that's the upfront workload you have to put in when you're running an ecom brand. And that's also to me why ecom is so sick, because you spend some time doing the upfront work, the research, but once you find something that really works, then things will just take off. And that's so inspiring to me. To keep this brand running, I would simply go in and adjust some of the ads, maybe tailor the site a bit more, but a lot of the work has been done now. Of course, if you are as hungry as I was when I began, you really want to invest heavily into your store at this point. But yeah, so I sincerely hope that this video has been able to inspire some of you guys and guide you along the way to starting your first profitable ecom brand, and actually also starting your first perhaps not profitable ecom brand, because it's all about just getting started, getting into that positive feedback loop where you test something, you learn, you tailor your strategy, and you try again. We're just trying to do that again and again and again to become better. That's what I'm doing right now at my stage as well. So you can see we actually almost achieved a 50% profit margin here, which is very cool, and that's mainly because our ad spend was so low. Because the ROAS, as I mentioned to you guys, we have such a high ROAS, return on ad spend. So that's our main reason for that. In the future, for this brand, you actually can only expect a ROAS of like around 3 to 4 for established brands. So that would of course decrease our profit margins on a longer basis. Nevertheless, these are our profits now. So I think I'm gonna go out and invite my girl to dinner and yeah, eat for some of these profits. With that said, I really hope you gained some value out of this video. Feel free to give me all of your feedback, and like it if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff, and yeah, I'll see you in another video.